Make sure the wine's out of the way.
Yeah.
This is the one time you don't have alcohol in the video?
No, I do want to have alcohol.
This is our intro. Just so you know. This is how we're gonna greet the world with this video.
I know, I'm like a new mom. Brand new mom.
Horrible dog.
Like.
What's that? I know.
Like
All right, you ready?
No.
Here we go.
Introduce Lady.
Let's introduce Lady here, our newest poker player in the house. Hi, Lady. We have to hold her because she's a horrible dog. Here we go. We find ourselves in the Aussie Millions. It's a poker tournament this time that we're playing. We're going to be playing as Kaverman, I'm going to guess.
Okay.
He's not the cute guy on the screen.
Okay.
This guy's got Jack 8 and he's going to fold.
Who is the cute guy?
This guy. Jacobson. I don't know who that is.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. He's not a part of this.
Okay.
We're Kaverman, and our nemesis is Jason Mercier. I do know who that is. Do you know who that is?
Mercier.
He's a legend in the poker world. Been around forever. Wants a big stuff.
Okay.
Okay. So he's our nemesis in this hand. Let's see what... Obviously, we pick up kings right off the bat.
Okay.
Right? So, what's not shown in the video is Jason Mercier is in the hijack. Do you know what the hijack is?
No.
I didn't think you did. I don't think I've ever explained it.
No, you haven't.
Hijack is right next to the button, and it's called the hijack because the button is the best player or the best position at the table, right? But you can hijack the best position at the table if you raise and the button folds. Now you're the best position.
So you're technically small blind. You're small blind.
No, you're thinking the other way.
Oh, okay.
Think of the opposite way of the small blind.
Yeah.
So you're in good position.
Okay, you're right before the button.
Yes, right before the button.
I thought you said after the button.
I might have. I'm an idiot. So that's why it's called the hijack, because you can hijack the button if you raise and the button folds. Now you're in the best position at the table.
Okay.
Got it? So Jason Mercier is in that position, and he raises to $8,000. And we Kaverman, pick up pocket kings on the button. What a dream, right? What a dream. We're Kaverman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But, I mean, okay, so let's put you in Kaverman's spot here. Somebody raises right before you. You look down at the sweet KKs. What do?
Someone raises right before me?
Right before you.
I call.
You just call?
I call.
With the KK on the button?
I call.
Why?
I call.
But you gotta have a reason. Why?
I don't have a reason. I just call. Depends on my intuition at that time, but I call because I'm still in great position right there.
Yeah.
So.
But now you're given the small blind and the big blind decent odds to come in with random 2 cards.
Okay.
Do you want that?
Sure.
Okay. Well, if the intuition and the stars aligned and the sun was in the right vector in the sky.
It depends who I'm playing with. It also depends who I'm playing with and everything.
That's true. Well, you and Mr. Kaverman are on the same wavelength.
Okay.
He just calls too.
Okay.
I think he's being sneaky. Sneaky with his kings.
Yeah.
Because I would call the button here with a lot of hands, because I'm in the best position at the table. I'd call it like 7, 10 suited or something. I'd call it with a lot of hands. But he's got a big one, kings. Let's see if it pays off for him. All right, so he just calls on the button. Now we've got the small blind and big blind to get through. The big blind does call with his random hand, his Jack 8 offsuit hand. But Jack 8 misses. I guess he's guttered. So he checks over to the pre-flop aggressor, Mr. Mercier. Let's see what he decides to do. That's not a good flop for him, being the one to open up the pot originally, right? Aren't you normally doing that with like ace, king, queen, stuff like that? But he decides to lead out at it still, 3-handed. You see that? Hold on. Now it's on us. All right, there we go. Stopped in the right spot. I'm getting better at this. All right, so, again, Mercier opened the pot pre-flop, and after that crap flop came, still continues into 3 people, all right? Now it's on us. Kaverman. He bet 11,000 into like a $28,000 pot. So a little less than half pot there. What do? You got your kings.
It's a very straight
straighty board.
I'm going to call once again.
Okay, call. Okay, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with a call because you want to see what happens here. See if like a 7 comes off or a 3 comes off or a 8 comes off. You're not happy, So maybe just call, see one more card. I'm okay with that. Let's see what Mr. Kaverman. I'm sure he's famous somehow. I just don't know who he is. Let's see what he decides to do with his big hand. He's still under repped at this point, right? Mm-hmm. He's not shown anybody he has a big hand yet. So what does he do?
He called.
He just called. All right. You and Mr. Kaverman are on the same wavelength this entire hand.
Am I a professional poker?
You could be. Let's see what hit. So then our small blind folds. Now we're heads up. 5 comes on the turn. All right. Well, let's see what Mercier does first before I ask you you to do, because you're in position, so you get to see what he does first. He checks it. He checked it over to you. Ooh. Okay. What does that tell you? What?
I'm getting trapped.
You're getting trapped. Maybe. Maybe he has quad 5s and he's trapping you.
That's exactly what I.
That's what you think. Okay, so what do you do here then? If that's where you're.
I'm gonna check it back to him.
You check it back. Okay. Let's see if you and Mr. Kaverman are on the same wavelength still.
Check it back, man. Let me be right.
Check it back, Kaverman. You're in trouble, she says. You're in trouble. Look at those. He's ugly too, right?
Is he?
Is he an attractive poker player? He's like 21 years old.
Oh, he's 21.
He's probably made more money than we ever will in our life. Oh, I did want to bring up something.
Okay.
When I watched this earlier.
You know what, though? I do not like that. That you have to think. Is he trying to bluff here? I don't know. Like if you're.
He's got kings. This is you, by the way. Would you be trying to bluff right now?
No, I'm gonna snap. Like if I'm going to bet, I'm gonna snap bet right there. I'm just gonna snap off like immediately.
I'll tell you what he's doing. Well, if you get into these big tournaments like this, all these guys take forever and
they take too long.
This is why, right?
I do that though sometimes.
Do you remember who? I want to say it was Bo Jackson, but I could be wrong. There was a famous running back, I'm going to say Bo Jackson, who every time he got hit hard, or every time he got tackled, period, he would take a slow time getting up, right? So then the defense could never tell when he actually got hurt or when he was not hurt,
That's
right?
True. I need to
so
do
these guys do I think at this level, they're doing the same thing, whether it's a big decision or whether it's he already knows what he's going to do. They try to stay the same.
1,000, 2,000.
And that brings me to my point. Look at this guy over here, the bald guy.
Yeah.
This is one of the best poker players in the world, Chidwick. He's not involved in his hand at all. This whole time, this guy is just staring at him, watching what he does on every street. Like, watching his facial reactions, watching how he grabs chips. I think we've missed the first half, and I don't want to go back because we're running late. But he's been staring at him this whole time. So then the next time Chidwick is in a hand with him, he's going to see his mannerisms, and hopefully he sees his cards. That's what he's thinking. Well, hopefully I want to see if he has a strong hand, weak hand, and I can pick up. That's how much in tune this guy is. And he's one of the 1 or 2 best players in the world. All right.
Okay, go.
So you said he was going to check. We see him reaching for chips. This is the first time you guys have disagreed on a street here. Look, Chidwick watching him. Watch him how he bets. All right, so he puts a bet out there. 15,000. 15,000 into 50,000. Small sizing there from you / Kaverman. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's see what Mercier decides to do here, because it is a small sizing. He goes for the check raise here. Puts you in a bad spot.
Okay.
Now, what are you thinking?
He's got quads or a full house right now.
Okay, so you're putting him on a big hand. He check raised you. He puts you on a big hand. I'm going to throw a different option out there for you. And let me see what you think. He could, because I would do this. He could pick up on that you put out a small size right there, $15,000 into what, 50 something. So he could be like, all right, let's take a shot at this. He's small. He's not too happy with his hand. I'm going to throw 67 out there and see what he does. All right. Took my shot in, right?
Can
Took
you
my
re-raise? Is he going to
he could re-raise. Kaverman could re-raise if he wanted.
Okay.
But he just ends up calling. And again, this whole time
can I do, like, that's a strategy? Like, I want to small size.
Hoping he comes over the top.
And then I re-raise.
Then you rip it.
You rip
100%. If you want to do that, you can do that.
But right now that, now that that's happening, I feel like this guy has a full house.
Who?
The
Mercier?
Yeah.
Okay. He could, but he re-raised, and I don't know if it showed, but Kaverman called.
Okay.
Bad card for us on the river. So now we've got 135,000 in the pot. Mercier's got 213 left, and he rips it. He rips it all in. All right, so we're gonna have a second here because he thinks about it for a while. What do you think? Mercier, you said he's already, you already put him on a monster hand. But we got kings. We have not shown we've got a good hand this whole time. Our hand on the flop, turn, and turn has been under-repped. We've not re-raised.
So he's showing right now that he's got an ace because he just.
Well, you said he's got a full house, right? You said he's got a full house.
No, Kaverman is just showing to Mercier like, hey, my ace hit. I have a full house. Like
no, what are you thinking? Mercier just went all in. Now it's on us with our kings.
Oh, Mercier went on it. I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
Yeah, so it's on us. Do we want to call off our stack? We've got 147,000 left. Do we want to call off our stack?
No, I would fold right here.
Or do we want to fold?
I'd fold.
Because you already put him on a big hand before the ace came. So even if he had like ace-7 here, was on the open-ended draw, he got there with the ace. Other than that, I don't see the ace helping anybody here. What does he have? He's not doing this with ace-queen the whole time, right? Re-raising, all that stuff. So he does fold. So you guys were on the same wavelength for the most part the whole time. Just that one bet on the turn. But before I show you if he made the right call or not, what do you think? You think he has a full house.
Yeah.
But is there anything he could have done, Kaverman, could have done better this hand? What do you think? Analyze his hand play. Pre-flop.
Are you doing this because I do that too?
I thought this was an interesting hand because this is a situation that comes up a lot, right? Especially the way we play mostly. We're in there with kings. We're in there with aces. But we get these weird boards, and we get these weird spots where we've got a good hand, but people are being aggressive into us. So sometimes you just got to fold, and sometimes you got to rip it. So that's why I thought this was an interesting hand. But I agree with you. I think he was trying to be sneaky with just a call pre-flop, but you gotta 3-bet that. I think you gotta. He bet 8,000. I make it 25,000.
If you're not in position, you can't. I mean, I don't know.
I don't want to let the small blind and big blinds in. And again, information too, right? The whole time we had no idea what Jason Mercier had. We never put him to any decision whatsoever. We were always just calling. We never got a read on his hand at the street. Like, who's to say that like you put him on a full house? I mean, but you're guessing. If we would have, when he bet 60,000, if we would have made it 150,000. Who knows what? If he calls that, then we know we've got something. But we never put Jason Mercier to a decision this entire hand. We just called his bets down. And now we're folding on the river, right? I hate that play. I hate it.
I think he would have called.
He could have. Let's see what he has, though. Okay, so you put him on a big hand. It's entirely possible he has a big hand. So let's see what happens. Oh, he had queen 7. He was bluffing. He was bluffing and got you off your kings. Can you believe that? But I thought that was an interesting hand. I might have folded it too, but the only thing I didn't like about it is we never put any pressure on Mercier right there. We just called. The only way I play that is if I flopped, top set or quad fives or something. Then I just let him bet all day. But then I come over the top of the river. But with my kings there, I'm trying to get some money in the pot. I want to see what he's got, so I 3-bet that pre-flop. Let's say he does decide to call with queen 7. Then that flop comes. Obviously, I don't put him on queen 7, but I fire again because I think he's got big cards.
This is a mean
And then
bluff.
And then I win the hand, right? So that's the difference between winning, 50,000 chips and losing 100,000 chips or whatever you just lost. So you got bluffed.
I did. I got
You
bluffed.
got bluffed. The puppy is not happy about it. He's not happy about it.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Until next time.